What's going on, beautiful people, and welcome back to Peace, Love, Happiness 101. And today we have another phenomenal video for you guys. After being single for a while, you finally decided to get back into the dating life. Knowing that you haven't been successful in your past relationships, you have an entire list ready. Things like what exactly you want from a man. Things like what you're willing to put in work for your relationship. Things like what you're gonna be compromising and setting a boundary in your relationship. Things like the actual image of whom you want to be in a relationship with. But despite the fact that you have a long list trying to get the perfect person to be in a relationship with, you seem to forget one thing. And that one thing could be the only thing keeping you from having a successful relationship. That one thing is time. The problem with a lot of people is that sometimes we are so busy trying to find the perfect person, the minute we come across somebody who actually fits some of your descriptions, we automatically expect everything to move as fast as possible. But relationships don't work like that. In order for you to really know somebody, the only way it's gonna happen is by giving time. And if time is something that you don't have, it's gonna be a problem, because any successful relationship requires work. And if you want your next relationship to make it, you're gonna have to be patient and give it time. Just like every man and woman, we both always have one specific picture as far as who we would want to be in a relationship with. Despite the fact that we've dealt with things that we didn't like in the past, we are still willing to find that one person whom we think might be the one. And sometime between thinking too much and not giving the relationship enough time to process, you might get back into making another mistake. Another mistake that's gonna set you back into trying to find the best person. The reason why I'm saying time is important is because for you to have a good relationship, you don't have to look for the relationship. The relationship should find you, because basically that's how love works. If you think every time you see somebody, you automatically expect that it's time for you to go chase them, you're probably gonna find out that you're not gonna be so lucky. 75% of the time, the person might think that you're just hopeless. So it's really important to remember that it's always best to let love find you. Let's say that you meet John. John is the exact image of everything that you want from a man. Is everything that every woman would want from a man. After talking to John for a while, you guys decided to give it a try on the dating life. But there are things that you still don't know about John. Unlike his beautiful appearance, there are things like you don't know if he's already been married. You don't know if John have multiple kids. You don't know what is it that John is really doing with his life. You don't know basically anything about John. But for some reason, you think just because John looks good, John should be the one. Well, that's when time comes in. Steve Harvey put out a book when he talked about 3 months probation before you even let the man get the cookie. For me, it's even more than that, because we're not even gonna talk about the cookie until you really know why he should deserve getting the cookie. And I know sometimes a man can tell you, man, I want this to happen, blah, 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 blah. The real guy, the guy who really wants you, his first priorities are not gonna be him trying to get you between the sheets. His first priority is gonna be, let me show this woman out. Since she's finally giving me the chance to be with her or to even date her, let me show her the possibilities that could happen if only she were to give me a real chance. That's what a real man's gonna think about. And in order for you to really know that, you're gonna have to give it time. Because whoever is only about the cookie, the minute he realizes that you're stronger than that, he's gonna bail. And how you're gonna be able to know exactly if it's gonna stay or not? It's time. By you giving the relationship time, you're gonna also realize that some people would put a long amount of time into something that they not. They'll probably act as if, I'll wait forever. I want this to work. But the very moment they understand that you are serious about certain things, that's when they're gonna start changing the whole behavior. You're gonna start seeing them for who they really are. And the only way for you to understand and know that is by giving it time. One thing that I also want to say to all the ladies watching this video, it is entirely okay to be 25 to not be married yet. It is entirely okay to be 30 to not have a house. It is entirely okay to not do a lot of things that society requires you to do just because that's how society sees it. This is your life. It's nobody else's. So for you to put pressure on yourself just because you don't think you're gonna be able to excel in a certain part of life doesn't mean that you're not worth it. I think that's where the pressure comes. A lot of women, especially once they pass 25, they automatically think maybe marriage is not something that I'm gonna get. Just because of the simple fact that society have put a norm where after 25 going to 30, you should have a house, you should have a bunch of kids, you should be financially stable, you should be able to do things as a married couple and being able to take trips as a family. Who wrote these rules? Why would you even let things like that get under your skin? You are beautiful, you are educated, you have all the benefit that life has to offer. Let a man come to you and make you his wife. There's no need for you to pressure yourself. Regardless of what you do, if you do not give yourself time for the relationship to flourish, you're probably gonna get back into that circle where you keep getting into a relationship but it's not working. So it's only fair for you to give things time because of the simple fact that time is everything that you need. A relationship cannot work if you don't give it time. For you to get to know somebody to a certain level where you actually give them the chance to hold your heart, you have to allow it time. Without that, there is absolutely nothing you could do. The more you push it, the more you're trying to convince somebody to love you, they're probably gonna end up taking advantage of you. Let's say that you end up with somebody, right? You end up with somebody, yeah, they say they love you every day. That doesn't mean that they love you. Just because you've been pressuring time, they'll probably just settle down because they're looking for something materialistic that you don't know anything about. So by you not giving it time, you probably will never find out. And by the time you find out, it's probably gonna be too late. So right now, if you're watching this video, I need you to keep repeating that to yourself. Yes, I know exactly what I want from a relationship. Yes, I know exactly what my worth is. I know everything that I could offer a man, but the one thing that we're gonna need to offer each other is time. Because without time, I'm gonna tell you this today, there is no relationship. For you to get to know the person and allowing the person to get to know you, time is the number one thing that you both need. We'd like to thank each and every one of you guys who've been with us from the get-go. We appreciate the love, we appreciate the support, we appreciate all the comments on each post. And for those of you that are just coming in, we welcome you to the channel. Feel free to look around and don't forget to leave us a subscribe and hit the notification bell because we have so much more to show you. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other. Peace.